Monday, November 8th. Can't believe it is already November 8th. Have you guys done your Christmas shopping? I'm just getting the live stream up and going up here on the other computer. And let me hit mute so that I don't blast anybody's eardrums. Oh, really? Twitter. Interesting. I went to log in. Gave me a login error. Refresh. Okay. Ah, interesting. Anybody else having Twitter issues? Okay. Well, I guess I won't tweet it out up there. No big deal, but I will, if you guys can tweet it out for me and assist me, that would be awesome. Because, hi CoinFox. Yeah, for some reason I can't get into my Twitter. Let's go and jump on over and see if I was teaching today in the training pits, and I was teaching all about the cool sites like Down Detector. Maybe Twitter's having an issue. No, it doesn't look like it right now, but I can't get on, so okay, no big deal. So let's look over the list today. Let's see if I can, that's all good. So today, SPY is a little, well, it was a little red on the day. We have come up, we've hit this upper trend line and rejected it again. Everything's running a little slow right at the moment. And we are pulling back down just a little bit. I said, hey, nice little bullish trade if we can break up above 469.75 and bear trade down below 468.60. So it did offer a couple opportunities both direction. What I'm seeing was I with Stephanie 10 years ago. No, but I am with her now. I was just teaching in the training pits over there, and I am one of the teachers over there with her team, which is awesome. Okay, so looking at Microsoft, right? SPY is comprised of Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Metaverse now, I'm going to have to get used to saying that, for the top holdings. So right now, starting to see that we are, looks like potentially topping a little bit on Microsoft. It would need to come down and break below 331.25 over here. So keeping that on watch. We had a pretty extreme run up. If we break down below this orange trend line, I'm going to go ahead and set an alert there, add an alert on trend line right there. Hey, if we start crossing down that, then likely we're going to see bigger move down in the market. Let's save that. And let's look at Apple as well. So Apple today, really big opening market prints. Oh, you are probably in the Java pit. That's it. Not in the training pit, because the training pit has only been around for 3 years now, but it's already been 3 years. I think it's 3 years, maybe 2 years. Time flies, right? So Apple, we had larger than normal opening prints today. And so looking to see, hey, as long as we stay below today's opening print, I am going to be bearish on it for now. It looks like the momentum might be slowing. We did hit this trend line up here. Looking to see, are we going to hold above the 21 EMA? We go below 149. Hey, Terry, welcome. Then we could likely continue down further. You can see that that 21 EMA does tend to be a bit of a trend change. When we break below it, then it flips to be resistance. She's full-time right now. That's it. So you could check it out. You could reach out to her. And Microsoft over here, I just mentioned Microsoft. All right, so let's look at the Qs. So seeing that Apple and Microsoft are both down, they are two of the big players as well in the Qs. So looking at that, no surprise that we're seeing that we had a bit of a doji on Friday, and now we are just hovering around it, but it's not a definitive direction one way or the other. So looking to see, are we going to close back down below? A little bit of a bearish formation here. Hey, if we break down below 340, excuse me, 394.25, full on bear mode for a bit of a correction. We are still seeing, hey Asif, we are still seeing that the Chinese real estate developers are breaking down. You know, there's 4 that have filed for bankruptcy, and Evergrande is still looming. They missed 2 payments, they made 1 payment. They still have one that they rolled forward, and they believe they have about 3 more weeks before that one really hits the fan as well. We also saw that Chase had issues with the banking. So let's look at Chase, actually, Chase Manhattan. Let's see what's going on with them today. JP Morgan Chase. See what's going on with them, because they had issues with their systems, locking out the people on Friday or Sunday. I don't remember. It was over the weekend. So this also on the weekly chart looks like we've hit resistance area right up here, about 170.50. Let's look at it on the weekly. See, it looks like we're slowly topping out, potential for this to come back down. If we break down, actually it kind of looks like a bit of a, do you guys see the diamond? It hasn't formed on the right side yet, but it looks a bit like a diamond right there to me. So keeping that on watch. If we break down below, I'd say 165. I think that we might see JP Morgan drop further to the downside here. Oh, hey Randy. Thank you, thank you. Luis, I have not looked at it yet today. We can check that out for sure. Also, Russell's moving up. No surprise, we do tend to see that money flows out of the Qs and into the Russell 2000. Today we are breaking out, looking to see, are we going to come back down to 241? We did hit a high, 244.46. You guys can see my fibs up here. They don't want to disappear. There we go. So are we going to top out? We have volume dropping. We have a bit of a squeeze. It moved up. I said, hey, we're looking for a 12-point move off of 232. So that would be a roughly 12 points, right? 244.46. Yep, 12-point move to the upside and then coming back down. So I'd watch to see, are we topping off up here and we're going to have a bit of a correction? A lot of Fed chatter today. Lots and lots of Fed chatter on the calendar. This is a great site, forexfactory.com. If you guys don't already know it, let's go back one page here and it should refresh for us. So we had, right now we had FOMC Clarita, Powell, Williams, Bowman, Evans, Loan Officer Survey, and FOMC Financial Stability Report, all today. So that's something that could end up with something, a bit of volatility at 4 o'clock today. We shall see. It's only a yellow folder. That does tend to be just sort of a not a big effect on the market. But Fed Chairman Powell speaking at 10:30. We don't have too much. You can see if you go to federalreserve.gov, it should have his speech right there if you guys are curious and you want to read his speech. Usually they do go ahead and publish the speeches as well. And we did see that crypto was rocking this weekend. So let's look back over here on my list today. It did start out with Coinbank. Looking at Coinbase, not Coinbank. I'm a little tired and hungry. Looking to see, hey, if we went up above 354, potentials for this to scream higher. Sure enough, it did move higher. CHPT also had a big gap up this morning, looking to see if we could continue that momentum, and it looks like it did not break out of that big range for the day. Trading desk used to trade, it used to be a lower float and trade much more rapidly. Today we did have the big gap up and continuation move to the upside, about $2.50 up above the 85.50 range. American Airlines continuing to move up. If you guys have seen me on Angela Miles, I did mention this on Thursday. Hey, as long as we can hold the $20 mark, I would like to see this up to $22.50. Sure enough, we hit that today. And looking to see, we might pull back down to $21.50 and then another leg up from there. AMC on the move with earnings today. Did have a little nice gap up. And on the daily chart, we have broken out. So is this move going to continue? Are we going to see those ape army AMC holders really seeing this hit 100? I think that's going to be hard hit, a hard price to hit as well, because this does have 550 million in it. This is not like DWAC. This is not like GameStop. This has 10 times more in the float. So it takes a lot more volume for this to be able to move to the upside. There was talk of AMC partnering with Disney to bring 4 movies back into the theaters. I believe it is the Marvel movies. So check that out. But right now, this, in my opinion, could be driven by earnings coming up. So be aware. Maybe these shorts are really getting squeezed. We sort of had the midline of a W right here. If we can close up above 44.50, watch this to see. This has a nice depth down to 35, so $9. We might see this move up to $54 tomorrow, or potentially up to 52, the next test of resistance right there. All right, Tesla today. Elon Musk tweeted out yesterday, based on the unrealized gains tax, that maybe he should sell 10%. I did a little bit of research. He has roughly 166 million shares now after the split that happened last year. So a 10% sell would be 16 million shares. That would definitely affect the price. He said he would abide by the poll. The poll said yes, 52 or 58% that he should sell. So maybe we will see a Form 4 coming out that he has sold. In fact, I did tweet it out. There are a bunch of Form 4s that have happened in the past week. So we go right here, secform4.com, and you can see that his brother actually sold 108 million just on the 5th, so on Friday. We can also see that this director on the 27th sold off 197 million, right? Those are the biggest sales that we have had in a while. So keeping that on watch. The insiders are trimming their positions. What do they know, right? The most recent starting 1018, 1027. So almost weekly, we're seeing some positions being trimmed. Maybe they already had that preset number in their head. Hey, if it goes above 800, I'm going to sell some shares. If it goes above 1,000, I'm going to sell 188,000. That could be a bluff for the news, but the Form 4s are telling me more that the insiders are selling, and maybe it would be a good time to trim some profits, right? I did have a target of 1,200 on it from before, so looking at that, we'd have hit that target. Wouldn't be surprised to see it move back. Tesla does have the ability to move fairly quickly, and fairly quickly up and fairly quickly down. And when those bears jump on board, they love to try to drop it down. It did hit the 1,200 target. People took profits, and now I wouldn't be surprised that we might see this drop a little bit more into the week, especially if Musk does come forward and say, yes, I will be selling off some of my shares. All right, let's look at CRM today. It was red on the day. Oh, thank you, Asif. That's a nice compliment. Was red on the day earlier, but it has recovered and surged higher. We are seeing almost a double top with Friday. So if the volume is higher than Friday and we do end up low on the day, I would watch for this to correct back down a little bit further. Oh, bonjour, Salvatore. How is Brussels? How's the weather? Zoom today had a bigger drawdown, was looking to see if we would have a continuation move to the downside. We do have earnings coming up very shortly. With more people going back to work, Zoom is not being used as much. However, I know one of our fellow traders in the Java pit was saying that most people are paying for first class seats instead of being upgraded because it is so inexpensive to purchase the first class seats at this time. So this did have a nice little trade to the downside of about $3 from the breakdown of 260.25, and looking to see, is this going to break down further? If we see a breakdown on the daily below 252, well, we could see that we really drop from there down further, down to 240, and then after that 240 drop, maybe down to 220 and 200. Ferrari race did have a bit of a downward move earlier this morning, and looking at the trade right now, it just has not done too much of either. All right, let's look at Wayfair. So Wayfair did have a large down day last week, and we've had a bit of a bottom forming today. So looking probably tomorrow, this will have a bigger move to the upside tomorrow. You started your first day today as a Salesforce consultant, and super happy colleagues seem great. Awesome, glad to hear. And you didn't even know I was going to have it on today, right? All right, so let's look at AA, Alcoa, Randy, or American Airlines. AA, Alcoa is pulling back. Remember that China did stop their aluminum production, will likely drive the price of aluminum up. Not sure how that would really affect the Alcoa profit margins, but if they are producing it, I would anticipate that that would create better numbers for them in the future. So keeping this on watch to see if this on the longer term can break out up above 52. Looks like it has gone sideways, had a bit of a move up, the same depth. So 52 down to 45, so that's 7 points, almost up to 59 over here. So it did have that move to the upside. So watching to see if this breaks down below, would look for a $7 move down on Alcoa. All right, let's look at ASAN. ASAN looks like it might be setting up a flag on the daily chart here. So I'd watch to see, hey, if you are able to break above 133 with some volume, that we might see this move up to the upside. 123, maybe on up to 143 would be my target from there. All right, and that's it. You got, oh, LCID. Sorry about that, Luis. I knew there was another one there. So LCID is continuing to move to the upside. It is looking a bit extended away from the moving average right here. It did catch up though, you can see, from last week. So looking to see, is this going to continue higher? It does look like it might be setting up a bit of a cup right here, 46 with a low down to 43. So you might see a continuation move up to 49. But like I said, it is a bit extended. We had higher volume on Friday. This could be a continuation of a squeeze, showing a bit overbought right here. But the momentum is still moving to the upside. However, it is a bit extended. So keep that in mind. If I was in it from, an entry down here, I might be trimming some profits up here with 30% gains already. All right, let's look at AMD. And AMD is screaming higher today, up $15 on the day. So nice breakout from the 138 resistance and just continuing to move to the upside. So not sure if there was a bunch of shorts. It did look like a setup for a short potential right here that somebody might have jumped into, but this is squeezing those shorts if there was a large amount. Let's go right here, here. Nope, I want this one. Close all this stuff down. So yeah, 63% short. So that's pretty much a short squeeze today on AMD. That it had a large percentage that was short for the past, look at that, 4 trading days. So these shorts are getting squeezed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where that short squeeze started. Shorts started to get in. They got stubborn, more stubborn. They added, boom, short squeeze, moving up. I personally would probably take some profits today, as those shorts would likely closing out their positions, and buyers momentum. We are showing a bit high on the RSI, overextend, big difference here on the momentum indicator. Usually it cannot hold that extreme for too long, and it might come back together. All right, let's look at Netflix today. So Netflix, ooh, is coming to the downside. Netflix looks like it is in a bit of downward momentum. We have hit the support area over here. I would look for 643 as my target, another dollar away. And then after that, down to 640. If the 640 breaks, then I think you might see a bit of a bounce at 640 up to about 647 and then continued move to the downside right there. Let's look at the cryptos right now. They were doing well earlier today. XRP is on the move. XRP has broken out from a downward trend. So let's look at this on the daily over here. Let's stretch it out. And there we go. So we do have this nice wedge, right? We had the highs back here of 181.41, and we are moving to the upside. Now, when is the SEC going to throw out this case? In my opinion, it's going to be thrown out because they have in their paperwork that Ethereum, Bitcoin, and XRP are digital currencies, cryptocurrencies. So therefore, their whole case, in my opinion, piece of junk. They're going to throw it out. It's just a matter of when, in my opinion, not an if. So right now, looking to see 131, 134 area and 130. So 130, 134, and then 140. Once we break up above 140, next move is up to 160. Quick, easy 20-cent move right there. And if you guys are ever interested, I love looking at this Xrp Wealth List. Go right here, first one. That it really doesn't take much to be in the top 10% ownership, and it's constantly dropping. So right now, if you were to own 2,000 XRP, you are in the top 10% of the owners of XRP, which to me is really, really low, because not that many people have XRP. Right now, there's 7.8 billion people on the planet. There are 3 million XRP accounts open, 3.6 million. So it's still very, very low. Not that many people have ownership to it. You can see that majority of accounts, there's quite a number of accounts, but most of them are hanging out here. Look, there's about 2 million that have up to 500 XRP. And then above that, we're starting to see just 2,000, and you're in the top 10% ownership of XRP. Let's look at Doge. So Doge is up a bit today. It's been hovering around. Looks like it's been basing and ready a little bit of a rounded bottom. Wants to make that move and continue to the upside. Cardano as well today, up above $2 again. Made that move today. It was down at 197 yesterday at the close, and looking for this to move up to, potentially up to 388. Yeah. And when we look at this fear and greed indicator today, up to 86. All right. When was it this high before? Let's look back in history. All right. The end of 2020, the end of 2019. What happened 2019 going into the new year? We had the pandemic, right? And AmpCoin, yeah, I can check and see if it's on TradingView. So keeping that on watch for the market as well. Look at this, how it's just surged higher in the past weeks, just like the market as well. And so looking at that makes me extra weary. I also wanted to pull this stuff up. So let's look at right here. Let's look at the Economist cover. So I thought this was really interesting. When we look at the Economist cover for this week, it's quite interesting. It looks like full red, 1 year on, and it looks like he's going down in a hole, right? So I always like looking at these and going, oh my goodness, what is this about? Well, we did have a big surge of natural gas energy for Halloween area, ramen noodles moving to the upside. What is this? Cop out. Oh, the cops were standing up against mandates. And then let's look at the Barron's cover. So the Barron's cover is also quite interesting. We've got the weird Loch Ness monster right there. What's going on with that? That's kind of weird. But look at this. It looks like an alien ship, but it's also like a portfolio, like the breakdown of a portfolio. And I want to believe, right? I want to believe that this alien market is normal. I don't know. Not sure. I like to try to interpret. Like this one was all about green energy. We had the solar flares going on, and I don't know. I like to interpret them. Okay, so let's look at AMP coins. Let's see. AMP US dollar. Maybe. So AMP, it's not doing too much. Let's look at it on the 4-hour chart. Flat Earth. Okay, Asa, maybe. For which one? Last week or this week? You think this is the flat Earth or this one? This one looks like a battery. Maybe we're full of power. Green energy, green power. I don't know. I like to. What do you got? You think this one, the Barons one, the alien one? I don't know. Looks like the mountains. And then we have a portfolio sort of flying in the spotlight, but it's a poster, right? It's a poster for something. But that doesn't look like an Earth. It looks like a portfolio. Like a, maybe it's, or maybe it's like, hey, I want to believe that the market is really this high. I don't know. Yeah, the 1st of November looks like a battery. Yeah. Green energy, that was all about the climate thing, I think. So I'm not sure what AMP does. There's over 10,000 coins, so I don't know all the coins. I haven't read the white papers on this. But it looks like this, just technically, right? If we draw this, it needs to break out up above there. And let's draw a little bit of a trend line over here. So risk, I would risk down to 0.59 and would like it to break out 0.62 right there. So it is in a wedge forming. We have a 1, 2, 3, maybe a 4, and then a 5 move. So it might have another test down on this lower trend line. If it bounced off the trend line, I would look for it then to surge out to the upside. All right, let's look at XLM. XLM is moving up a bit as well. Let's go back to the 24-hour chart. So this is sort of just basing as well, kind of like Doge. It's just sort of hanging out there. Once this breaks up above 40, and we could see hopefully a break above 42, we'll be heading on up to 47 and testing these fib levels over here. Algo as well today did break out up above. Would love to see us break up above 210 and then continue on up. Really want to see it break above that 250 and on up to $3. I really like Algo as well because they do pay pretty much like dividend or interest on the coin as well. You can earn rewards on Algo. And so as a store of wealth, enjoy it for that reason. Iota is another one. And we did have major volume today, right? I'm not sure where all this volume came in. Look, we had big volume over here. And if that was selling right there, then I would really watch 155 area. If we break out up above 155, we are off to new highs, right? Big volume here on Iota and XDC as well. We've been in a bit of a downward trend on XDC. I gotta change up these trend lines. We'll get it organized, cleaned up a little bit. So does look like it based around the 161 EMA and then tested the 200 down here. Now we're just a little bit lower. So are we going to break below that 0.089? If so, then I would watch for a test back down here at 0.08. However, we might see that we have that volume come into it. We had big volume breakout here. So as long as we hold, I'm going to throw on the volume. Probably gonna, oops, that's not what I wanted. Remove. I really want this, the fixed range volume profile. Let's go from the low over here. So most of it, we are below the most volume up here at 12 cents. So that could break down potentially further. Let's extend this out a little bit further to the other low down here. and see if we have support anywhere. Ah, so support is all the way down at 5 cents there. Let's tighten this up a little bit more from the high over here and see. Oh, still above us. So as far as going back, maybe we're going to see support at 8 cents. So I'd watch for that 8 cent test if it breaks down from 9. If it does hold 8, I would say, all right, ready to potentially add more and move to the upside. VET, I don't trade VET, but we can check it out. I do have now my bigger extended crypto list. Yeah, it is moving to the upside today, up 8.9%. A nice rounded bottom. Looks kind of like Doge and XLM. However, it is breaking out now. So I'd watch for a test over here of 18 cents. After that 18 cents, if it does break out, test next level 20 and then 21 cents there on VET. All right, guys, so thank you guys for joining me. I will remind you that I do not reach out to people on WhatsApp. I've had a couple people ask me, hey, is this you messaging me on WhatsApp? No, it is not. If you guys want to message me, you can message me on social media, on Instagram and Twitter, and also my email, jane@cjanetrade.com. Please reach out if you think that it is me contacting you, asking you for money to trade Bitcoin. I do not trade Bitcoin. So right off the bat, you know it's not me, because I will not ask you to trade your money in Bitcoin, because I don't trade it. All right. And I don't trade other people's money. So have an amazing rest of your day. Carpe profit, seize those profits one trade at a time. Bye-bye.